Yahoo!
Huh? What?
Wake up, sleepyhead. It's time to get up.
Yoshiki had jumped onto my bed and was now bouncing energetically, careful to avoid clobbering me. Given the circumstances, it was a miracle that I slept as soundly as I just had. Wished I was still asleep.
It's time for breakfast.
I can get my own breakfast when I wake up. Why do I have to come now?
The captain thought it would be nice for us all to enjoy breakfast together for once.
Yoshiki stopped jumping and sat on the end of my bed, smiling like a fool. So, what's for breakfast then? You don't even know.
All I know is that the captain is cooking, and that's super rare.
Is she a good cook?
Meh.
You want me to get up for something that's just meh?
Technically, it's the captain that wants you to. And even though it's only passable, it only happens on special occasions.
I guess with Kanashi's godlike powers in the kitchen, there's no need for anyone else to cook.
Exactly. This is like a limited time offer that's been extended to you.
Alright, I'm convinced.
I live to eat another day.
Live?
That captain was very frank with her orders. If I were to fail to bring you to breakfast, she suggested I might be finding a new spaceship to live on.
You have a better chance of surviving than here. Wait, seriously?
I think it was a joke, but I don't want to take my chances.
I don't either. Maybe next time you should open with that to get me up sooner.
Aw, bestie. You must really love me.
Yoshiki pounced onto me, trapping me in a tight bear hug.
I'll tell the captain you are on your way. See you soon, bestie.
Yoshiki skipped out of my quarters, and wished I could siphon off even a portion of his energy. I heaved myself out of the bed and pulled my hair into a rough ponytail before heading rather hastily to the dining hall. I arrived to find just the captain and Yoshiki. Good morning, Captain.
Good morning. I trust you are well rested?
Amazingly well, considering everything I've witnessed.
Splendid.
Where's everyone else?
Everyone else?
Oh, I guess I just assumed when Yoshiki said we, he meant all the crew.
Heavens no. I do not want to cook for so many people. I am sorry to disappoint you.
Sorry, bestie. Maybe I wasn't clear enough. It's just us three.
No, I'm not disappointed. In fact, this is far more intimate. I like it. I saw a smile flicker in the corner of the captain's face. She reached over at the table to unveil her cooking efforts.
Cooking is not my forte, but I have made breakfast tacos.
Breakfast tacos? Yoshiki leaned in and whispered so the captain couldn't hear him.
She just means pancakes, really. But she likes to fold them in half and eat them like tacos.
That's kinda strange, but also adorable.
She's done it ever since we were children.
Yoshiki!
Yes, Captain?
What are you whispering about?
Nothing. I was just telling her how much I love your breakfast tacos.
Her slightly raised brow told me that she didn't believe him, but she didn't pursue the matter further.
I've assembled all the toppings you could possibly want. Strawberries, chocolate, and my favorite, sugar.
Wait, just sugar?
My mother always told me that I should have some lemon juice with the sugar, but I believe they are sufficient with just the sugar.
I watched in amazement as the captain poured sugar onto a pancake, which he then proceeded to fold in half and eat as if it were a taco, while excess sugar rained out onto the far end. I looked over and saw to my horror that Yoshiki was doing the same thing. Fine, why not? I've been eating reconstituted meals for most of my life, at least this looks fun.
I hope you enjoy it.
I folded my sugar pancake breakfast taco monstrosity and bit into it. It was a little dry in places, but it was surprisingly good. Oh, this is pretty good.
Thank you.
I finished my mouthful and seized the opportunity provided by the lull in the conversation. So, let's apologize. Way to kill the conversation, man. I mean, I'm trying my best, but Aya's already doing everything she can to find anything in her code that we can exploit, and my parents' work is just... it's all nonsense, really. I looked down at my plate, ashamed of my failure.
Don't be upset.
Why not? I've gotten us nowhere.
That may be so, but you have already done more than we ever could. So please give yourself some credit.
Besides, sad people always end up in a rut.
What do you mean?
If you let yourself drown in your sadness, you will never overcome it. And how will you help us with our problem here if you've drowned?
I wasn't 100% sure how to interpret Yoshiki's analogy.
I think what Yoshiki is trying to say is that a positive mindset is more conducive to progress than a negative one.
Well said.
I guess that makes sense.
However, I believe that negative energy can be harnessed to manipulate the outcome.
I'm sorry, I'm not following.
My mother used to tell me that feelings of depression, especially those associated with difficult problem solving, are a powerful tool to be harnessed and should be welcomed.
This is now making absolutely no sense.
If we are able to control your depression, to solve it, your thoughts will shift into a more positive space and, more importantly, will boost both your motivation and your creative powers.
So, being depressed is a good thing.
Imagine a clockwork toy car. When you pull it back, it imbues the car with potential energy that makes it fly forward at a greater speed than if you simply pushed it.
So you're saying that feeling overwhelmed can result in my problem-solving power increasing substantially?
Precisely. Our minds can be double-edged swords. They can be the reason we get into a tangle, but also provide us with the solution to unraveling it.
Well, at least now I have something new to think about, to worry about.
I don't think that was the point.
Wait, you're all having breakfast without me?
Yes, go away.
Would you like a breakfast taco, Dai?
Oh, I would love one. Thank you, Yoshiki.
Yoshiki offered a breakfast taco to Dai, whose hands went straight through when she tried to take it.
Drat! I almost forgot. Hologram hands.
Maybe one day.
Wait, is that even possible?
Yes. Dai's interest piqued.
Of course. The Everett's AI system has hard light capability.
The captain struck Yoshiki hard on the back of the head.
Ah! Captain?
At the rate you are going, Yoshiki, I will kill you with my own hands before Dai ever has the chance.
Captain, normally I would scold you for interrupting Yoshiki. What he was saying was quite interesting, but I must say, you threatening to kill him with your own hands? Meow.
What do you want exactly, Dai?
More details about you on top of Yoshiki. Hands around his neck as he gasped for air. His eyes rolling back into his head.
Dai trailed off and began drooling, a faraway look in her eyes.
You wouldn't, would you?
Yoshiki looked at the captain, panicked.
Of course not, Yoshiki. Dai is simply creating her own grotesque fantasy.
Most men would be flattered to exist in my fantasies, Yoshiki.
I'm sorry, I'm not ungrateful. I just like living.
You can't have it both ways, mister. That is so rude.
Indeed, what the hell, Yoshiki? She just walked into the room and you're treating her like this? Yoshiki began scrambling to apologize to Dai when the captain interrupted.
Dai, why are you here?
The new deletion game, of course.
Of course. How could I forget?
I have already alerted the rest of the crew, and they should be arriving in 3, 2, 1.
Just as I predicted, Kanashi and Shizuka entered the door, Melody in tow. Yoshiki was looking at Dai gobsmacked.
It's like your magic.
Want me to make you disappear?
Ooh, do it, do it, do it!
You can do that?
She is implying that she will murder you. Also, she is the ship's AI. She monitors everyone's location at all times.
Captain, you should never give away a magician's secrets.
Indeed, Kimiko, that's kinda rude.
You are far from that.
The captain and Dai continued to squabble as the lifeless husk of Nicholas dragged himself into the room, giving us a complete head count.
Wonderful. Everyone's here. Let's just get straight to business, eh? Allow me to introduce you all to this week's game. Vampire Children. Be sure to listen well. This game is my favorite one to date. Vampire Children is played over 3 cycles. One person will be chosen at random by me and be made the vampire. I'll tell this person in secret, and the 6 other people are humans. No one will know for sure who is a vampire and who is a human, other than themselves. During each cycle, you have the choice to either mate with another person or not. It's not compulsory, but definitely advisable. However, you can't mate with the same person twice, even during different cycles. Where's the fun in that, right? Every time 2 humans mate, 2 children are born. When 1 human and 1 vampire mate, no children are born, but that human becomes a vampire for life, and for point's sake, a vampire child. If 2 vampires mate, nothing happens except a good time. Only the original vampire will know that they're a vampire. Humans who unknowingly mate with a vampire won't know until the end of the game. After each cycle, I will announce the total count, human babies produced, and new vampires created. After 3 cycles, the human and vampire children counts will be tallied. If there are more vampire children than humans, the human that created the fewest human babies will be executed. If more human babies exist, the starting vampire will be executed. Now, 1 versus 6 can seem lonely, so here's my offer to the soon-to-be vampire. The vampire can choose a Bonnie to their Clyde. This person will knowingly and willingly become a vampire in the first round, and will win and lose alongside the vampire. If the vampire wins, so do they, and so they are spared from death. But if the vampire loses, so does that person, and we have a double execution. Be careful though, your Bonnie and Clyde dreams may be short-lived, and your partner might out you as the vampire. So, tell others at your own risk. I will notify you of your human or vampire status sometime before the game begins on Sunday morning. This is my favorite game to date. Any questions? Need me to repeat?
We're cool. We're cool.
Excellent.
Di suddenly zapped out of the room and the broadcast opened overhead where we could all hear Di using her best customer service voice.
We understand that you have a choice in deletion game carrier and want to thank you all so much for choosing the Die Deletion game service. We murder for your satisfaction, and we look forward to servicing you again this Sunday.
I love the Di and Hulk hunt playing the game. What if I was the vampire? Who would I pick to play with me?
Run!
Huh? What? Why? I rubbed my eyes frantically as I jolted awake. What the hell is that?
This has to be your fault somehow, Yoshiki!
I didn't know this would happen.
I was standing on a pile of rubble as I watched 2 huge robots fighting. One that resembled Di and the other that resembled a rice cooker? I stood in disbelief as the 2 robots clashed. The Di robot was using a large spinning metal pizza cutter like a saw, piercing the rice cooker. How is this even possible? Where was I? Heroine? Heroine? This is... Heroine. Huh?
I need your help.
Wait, what? Where'd the robots go?
Robots?
I looked around the room. No robots to be seen. Just a dream. It's no giant Di robot, right? Captain's face responded with a quizzical look at my question.
I surely hope not.
Okay, good. My breathing was returned to normal. Turns out robot brawls really get the heart pumping. Mental note for when we get out of this situation. Start a giant robot fighting reality show. Make millions.
Are you okay?
Yeah, sorry, just having some strange dreams.
Very well. I was hoping you could help me with something.
Yes, of course.
Wonderful. Please get dressed and meet me on the bridge.
The captain swiftly glided out of my quarters, and I managed to get dressed and presentable in mere minutes. The captain was staying with an air of unease about her when I arrived.
Thank you for providing your assistance at this early hour.
Early hour? What time is it exactly?
A little past 4 a.m.
Surprisingly, that's the time it is right now. Why am I always awake so early? The captain chuckled at my complaints before continuing.
I am facing rising concerns about the black hole. Just over a week ago, I made the choice to stay on course towards the black hole.
Yes, I remember, and your argument made sense, so what's the problem?
We will be at the closest point to the black hole tomorrow just after 4 a.m., and people are already dying on my watch. I don't want to sentence the entire crew to death at once.
Captain, I'm sure that Shizuka will be able to navigate us through. We should easily be able to avoid the event horizon, so the only thing we need to deal with is time dilation. But even then, the effect shouldn't be observable by us.
Time dilation?
To put it simple, time passes slower for those closer to a black hole than those further away from it. So a day to us might in fact be a year for others further away, but theoretically, we shouldn't even notice. The captain started looking even more concerned. Nothing I was saying was helping here. Maybe I was making it worse. My father always said that people are like parrots. They love their own reflections and their own voices. Maybe this is what he meant. Here goes. Captain, would you rather have a 100% chance of death or a 50% chance? Even with you navigating, at least we have a chance of survival. The captain's demeanor quickly melted away, and she turned her glance to me, smirking.
Wise words. I wonder where you got them from.
An old TV show.
But you are right, and so was I. Not chancing the black hole is a death sentence in itself.
I think it was canceled after the first season, too. See, all better. No point worrying about what we can't control. We either die from a black hole or a psychotic AI system. Both noble deaths. The captain took a moment, looking stern, before breaking into a laugh.
Noble indeed. Thank you for the laugh and for your counsel. Thank you. You are dismissed and can return to your quarters, if you wish.
Well, I'm already up now. Besides, you look like you could do with some company.
That is very selfless of you. I appreciate it.
I awkwardly stood there for a moment thinking about what to say. It was probably best to avoid thinking about the black hole any further.
I am most suited for the role of captain.
Looks like we already asked that one, so let's ask about her mother.
My mother? Why would you ask about my mother?
Well, she was the one who wrote Dai's code. You never know what might be useful.
Very well. My mother, Ayumi Yukimura, was born on Earth. At the age of 23, she married my father, Zakuro Moriyama, at the Tanishi Military Academy. She died at age 35 aboard this ship from stab wounds she sustained after an altercation with Agnes Helga Vogel.
That's all very clinical. What was she actually like?
She was cold.
Really?
My mother was always concerned about the mission above all else. It was her highest priority at all times.
She was the captain.
I understand that now. But as a child, as her child, I felt that my very existence was nothing more than an order delivered to her, and not necessarily one received well.
I'm sure she loved you. She was your mother, after all.
Regardless of her lack of affection, she still taught me and raised me well by any standards, even if it was only until I was 6. She made me the woman you see before you today.
I'm eternally grateful to her. Of that much I'm sure. I smiled widely at the captain, who blushed at my words. Well, I'd best get some work done today, so if I may excuse myself from your wonderful company, I'll get right on it.
That sounds like a superb idea. I do admire your work ethic.
Is that the only thing you admire?
For now.
The captain gave me a tentative smile, though each was more confident than the last. That doesn't make a lot of sense. I left the bridge and stood for a moment in the hallway to consider my options. I could try to make some headway on the Dai deactivation code, or perhaps work more in decrypting the pocket watch. So, we're on what I think is the Nicholas route. There's no junction here, so whatever you do doesn't really matter. Technically, we already have the deactivation code, but we'll still go with it. Keep in mind I have it because I've started recording the endings, as you see here, but I knew that Dai was the most pressing issue facing us right now. We need to shut down Dai. That's priority number 1.
Well, that's just rude.
Yeah, I'm known to be that a little bit. Dai appeared in front of me, suspended upside down from the ceiling. Dai, what are you doing?
Oh, this? I saw it in an old movie on the computer's archive. I think we're supposed to kiss now?
But it's not raining. I'm not kissing you.
Joke's on you. You couldn't even if you tried. I'm incorporeal. Whee!
What do you want, Dai?
What do I want? I just overheard you plotting my demise, which I'm still taking seriously, even though you were talking to yourself. Cuckoo.
It's usually a different bird sound they make when talking about me. Dai swung upright while making crazy faces that were meant to provoke me.
Seriously, though, who talks to themselves? You know you can have that conversation in your head, and then we won't all think you're crazy.
But then you won't fear me. It's just for the sake of clarity. Besides, sometimes I need an expert opinion.
Because you're lonely. No friends, right? Like, who can you really trust on this ship?
Who could ever be lonely with you hanging around all the time, Dai?
Aw, that's so sweet. Now I wish I could kiss you. No, wait. Kiss is the wrong word. Strangle? Yeah, strangle.
What do you want, Dai? I have things to do.
Yes. In regards to your busy schedule of Dai murdering, I came to save you some time. You can't.
What?
There's no way to shut me down. Well, specifically, there's no way that anyone on this ship will ever have the required permission to access the data required to shut me down. So, don't bother. Enjoy what are likely your last days alive doing what humans do best. Eating, drinking, and converting oxygen into carbon dioxide.
Dioxide. And besides, we're not really that efficient in this. I will beat you, Di.
Rawr. Girl, you're making me all hot and bothered up in here.
Di closed the distance between our faces until there was barely an electron's width to spare.
I welcome the challenge.
With those words, Di scattered into glimmering light particles, my hope vanishing with her. She's almost certainly right. Suppose my time would be better spent on the watch. I turned back towards the lab to give the pocket watch another once-over. I pulled a stool out from under one of the benches, started swiping through the tablet and rummaging through papers. It was always the same stuff. Pocket watch, interdimensional travel, resource solution, but never a mention of how it worked. Wish my parents had been better note-takers. Just as the frustration was setting in, the captain entered.
Hello.
Hello, Captain.
How goes the research?
I'm starting to question why even bother.
Not well then, I take it. Perhaps it might be time for you to take a break.
I'm not sure I should.
I was thinking of having an evening picnic in the Eco Lounge. Something sweet to eat, a stunning view, and hopefully some company.
Sounds amazing. I'm pretty sick and tired of getting nowhere here.
I'm sorry for that. But I would also be grateful for your company.
So, what time is this evening picnic?
Now.
But it's only... I glanced at the time. Oh, 9 p.m.
Yes. No one has seen you all day. Not even to eat.
Guess I'm well overdue for a meal then.
I suppose you are.
I returned the precious watch to its usual place in my pocket and followed the captain out. When we arrived at the Eco Lounge, I could see the captain had already prepared a picnic. A small red blanket lay on the hilltop along with an assortment of snacks and drinks. We sat on opposite corners of the blanket and admired the view in silence. What's on the menu?
Today's picnic consists of a baked apple slice and fruit juice.
That sounds delicious. I've never tried an apple slice.
It is one of my favorite dishes.
I've eaten so much amazing food since arriving on the Everett.
One of the many benefits of having Katashi survive the deletion games.
We had best keep him alive. I enjoy eating like a queen.
I must be honest. I have asked you here for a reason.
Oh, wasn't just to feed me? I feel betrayed. When it joked me, the captain smiled, but I could see it did little to dispel her unease. Captain, what's wrong?
We might die tomorrow. You might die tomorrow.
That's how the game works.
I need to get this off my chest before that can happen.
What is it?
I have very strong feelings for you.
The captain struggled to get the words out, but she soldiered on.
I was hoping that maybe you would like to share my quarters tonight?
Captain?
You can call me Kimi in my company. I'm sorry. I really shouldn't be so forward.
Kimi, I would love to.
Really?
You're right. We might both be dead tomorrow, so let's make the most of tonight. Kimiko placed her hand on mine, sandwiching it between the soft blanket and even softer skin. Upon finishing our picnic, we wandered dreamily back to Kimiko's quarters.
Thank you again.
I smiled at the captain.
Oh, one last thing. And I'm sorry if it seems pedantic.
So we did miss the one CG, but I'm not going to go back for it. What's that?
You have to sleep on the left side. The right side is mine.
Why the right side?
That way, when I wake up, I always get out on the right side of the bed.
That wasn't how the expression worked, but I was sure she knew that. I smiled at how adorable she was. Very well, I'm sure I can accommodate you. I laid the pocket watch gently on the bedside table before double-checking that I was definitely getting to the left side of the bed. It wasn't long before Kimiko slipped in beside me.